Yo, what is up YouTube? This is New World 323. This is an overview of the CRKT C-K Dragon. Now what you see here is the box and obviously the knife, so we will keep the knife and move the box. If you want to see my unboxing video, just look it up. Alright, let's zoom in a bit so you folks can enjoy this video much more. And it might be a little too much. There we go. Alright, so what we got here is the CRKT C-K Dragon. Now, before we actually get into the knife, let's get into the sheath. So as you can tell, this is a friction hold sheath. There are no lanyards or snaps or retention straps. The sheath is made of Kydex or Kytex, however you say it, or preference. This could be held on via belts or paracord. 550 is generally what will be used, or you could use Velcro straps. I mean, overall it's a real good sheath. It is very hard when you first get it to pull out, to actually pull out the knife, but it does kind of loosen up over time, so you should be straight on that. So that's kind of how it looks like. Obviously it's like an injected molded sheath. And there's only one way to put it in. If you put it in the wrong way, you will regret that, because it will damage that sheath. Alright, this is the knife. As you can tell, it's made of a, well, you probably can't tell, but it is made of a steel very similar to 440C stainless steel. It features G10 handles with the angled slots for better grip, preferably sweat dissipation and water, mud, grime, dirt, dust. Next, you have somewhat of a pommel on the end with a rear lanyard hole, which is good for attaching a lanyard to it so you don't drop your knife at night. You got a very, very well made finger choil, and it's already been noted I'm a fluffy person and I got fluffy hands. That choil fits perfect. I mean, even for a big-handed person like myself, this is unbelievable. So I really think this is an ultimate fighting knife in all retrospect. So, oh yeah, that's just a look at it right there. And sorry there, I had to get the door. Someone answered. Anywho, so as I was saying, let's just go through this real quick, and I'll go into detail on everything, and I'll show you what I think of the whole thing. So again, you got the front worn cliff point blade style, which drops into a point, doesn't sweep up into a standard point. So it is a pretty sharp blade, and I'll do a little paper cutting test at the end. You got your standard cutting edge, and then you got the 3-point serrations. You have 4 of those. You got the CRKT logo. On the rear you actually have some jimping, which in my opinion is very, very extreme for this knife. However, it's supposed to be a fighting knife. That's more or less its design, so that makes plenty of sense. And with the G10 handles, with the angle slots, or grooves if you will, see what I'm saying? It really does complement the blade style quite a bit. And this finger choil here actually is very, very useful and functional. I would say for big-handed people such as myself, like fluffy-handed, as well as anybody with a smaller hand. If you have a small hand, this knife will be perfect for you. You can probably do a couple knife cutting tricks or whatever you want to call it. And then as you can tell on the rear, you got a lanyard hole, as you can see via right there. And then you got this little end right here, which is very similar to like a pommel, if you will. You can use it for pummeling, you could use it for glass breaking. Keep in mind, I've never tried the glass breaking aspect of it, but I believe a pommel would be very, very useful. Now let me actually back this out. Well, actually, before I back this out, I want to show you the only thing I dislike about this knife. The only thing I dislike about this knife, if I can get my camera to focus, is that right there. I don't know if you can see it. Look right there at the choil. You see how it overlaps a bit? Like it doesn't line up correctly. Let me see if I can get you in there a little bit better. See that right there? That's my only that's the only thing I dislike about this knife. That it doesn't line up perfectly. But again, for like 20 bucks, you really can't go wrong. G10 handles, good steel. I mean, I wouldn't want to really go any less than that. And again, it's a similar to 440C, and it's the Warren Cliff Point. So this variant of blade is very good for tactical fighting or close quarter battle, or CQB, or whatever you want to call it, CQC. But overall, this is just a very good knife. Like I was stating, very effective, very aggressive jimping. And this is a tip to tang knife, as I like to say, because from the tip to the rear of the handle, you can see the full tang of the blade. And that is how you know you have a full tang knife. You know what they say, if you cannot see it, it probably isn't. So in all honesty, I would stick with that motto. And overall, I think it's a good knife. For 20 bucks, you probably can't afford a knife any better than this for the price and quality. So, take care, keep it real, peace out.